Hey, welcome back. Brandon Media Strategy Session 2, also known as Week 2. I'm super excited. I got to break stuff up between this session, point 1, and session point 2. My mind's just flooded with information. Couple things. Let's start out with weird stuff, all right? I want to start out with the weird stuff. First off, please come in. Work with me. If you haven't seen these new stations for students, it's amazing. It's what I use every day to create the most creative designs possible. What do you have? You have a computer monitor with a secondary switchover monitor here. So you have two screens. This screen is matched to this screen. This screen you can actually draw on. You can use this stylus right here and actually move things on this screen, which matches this screen. Then you have this Wacom tablet, which is better than a mouse. You're holding a pencil, far more ergonomic, and this spans both these screens, but within this little space. When I use it at home, I have it span 3 screens, and it's all in this space. It's so intuitive. It's so easy to use. And it's the workflow, man. It's that workflow. And like, oh, I'm working on something like this. And I'm like, oh, I wish I can't get it quite with the Wacom. Then you go to this drawing screen, you actually physically do it on the screen exactly how you want. And it's up here, and then you switch it back, and you're going back and forth, and you're using everything seamlessly. It is amazing. Come on in. Tuesdays, 9 to 4. Thursdays, 9 to 4. We can find people to be in here more. Wednesdays, Mondays, maybe Fridays. Don't deny yourself this opportunity to work as a professional. Pro tools right here. The best of the best to help your design work. I know, but I just want to be at home and work on my laptop. That's not what your employer's going to say when you're like, can I just work at home on my, they're going to be like, no. And then you're going to be like inundated by stuff. And they're like, oh, you gotta like, this is the pro, like work pro, come on in, hang out. I'm here, answer questions. How do you do this? How do you do that? It's amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. All right. The other one, minutes. Okay, not minutes. Like an hour before class. You know, we got our YouTube channels that I watch, and I watch artists. This guy. Not this guy. Gross. This guy. The ugly truth about client work. He goes through the entire design process. Client meeting. It's goofy. It's a little goofy. It's funny. Then he creates logos. He shows his sketch, his research process, his sketch process, his final process, his presentation to the client, changes that the client needs to make all the way to the final. It's 20 minutes long. It is so good. I actually watch this guy whenever he puts out a video. When I was learning Fresco for the iPad, I went to YouTube, of course, and he came up and he had, to me, the best content on Fresco. He's a professional illustrator. I liked his style, so I use him. And I reference one here. It literally, I think, if you look, it was posted 5 hours ago. 5 hours ago. So just started watching it. It's so good. I watched the whole thing. I don't mean I just started watching, but like it like released so soon. So watch that. You know, it's worth it, because it's like, oh, you keep hearing it from me. Hear it from somebody else too. Like you'll hear the same information from many, many people about like, this is why. Like I'm just a communicator from my knowledge and my education and knowledge in the professional industry to spill it to you. And in session 2.2, I'll go over hyphens and widows and orphans and why they're not professional, how to clean them up, and how to fix those. Don't forget about the old mid-session project review. I use this all the time, and it's the best place to have your work previewed. Do not post today Like, don't post the day it's due expecting me to make changes. Like, sometimes Tuesdays, the day it's due, is the day I do all my lectures and check on things. But sometimes I don't get to it. So if you're like, well, I posted it on Tuesday right before it was due, I'll be like, no, like you got to post it with enough time for me and you to work on it. Like I need to check it, go through my stuff, and then send it back to you. And then you need to make the changes. Doing it the day of is a little bit wonky. I'll still try and check it. I checked this morning and I'll check again, but now I have to go back and grade assignments that were late. So from Sunday, because, you know, gotta keep going. I turned them in late. Okay, now I gotta go back and grade those. Keep you guys moving along. I want to talk about Bubbler a little bit. We'll do exploring brands, and every designer needs to know later. Chapter 2. Went over the book. Get the book. Be smart about the book. Look around for the book. I mean, you're all savvy computer people, right? Wink, wink, nod, nod. And then the challenge session 2. These are just graphic design terms. 5 of them. Pow, pow, pow. It's like extra credit. Any way you know it. Like, you know, just do it. Super rad. All right. Let's go over. If you are in my, oh, I don't want you to see that yet. If you are, oh, I don't want you to see that yet. No. No. Why did it? Okay. If you're in my history of design, this will be familiar to you. Except for now, it's missing recent. Why did my thing close out? Oh, my work closed out. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Nope. All right, I gotta do it differently. Oh, I had the whole thing. Why did it close out without it saving? Let's go to inches, 6019, create. All right, let's talk about some things. And I was asked about this. Let me just check one more file. Nope, I had all these open. I'll come back to that. Layers. There it is. Woo! All right. Align and distribute. Somebody asked me about this. I'm in InDesign right now. InDesign and Illustrator are the exact same. I see some people struggling with this, or like, I'm like, why is this off? The computer does it for you. Like, start to use these items that will help you. Let's do object and layout and align. That's the one I use all the time. And what is it like? I made all these things and I need to get them aligned. Well, do you want to align them on top, middle? You know, like once they're aligned, and then I can, you know, distribute the spacing so they're all equally spaced. There's no reason for you to be trying to figure out spacing when you can use that, because then once it's like locked in, you do other things will lock in, but get it adjusted and then you can work with that. So, you know, like you see bringing it in and you got this, like, oh God, I can't get those. Then just boom, get them straightened. Like it's a click of the button, even with weird shapes, like get those and, oh, they're all centered. And then now if they're too close together and the edge of my artboard is here and the other edge artboard here, where do I put this guy? Well, just grab these two and distribute that spacing. You can also do rad stuff like this. Like I think if I go, let's do, move these squares up. I'm like, oh, I want a line of dots. And it goes from here. Well, no, I'll just do, I want a line of dots. All right, so let's get a line of dots. But when I distribute them, I want them all exactly a ½ inch apart. Oh, wait. No. I mean, a ½ inch apart. Oh, that's amazing. I didn't have to think. I just did it. Or you say, like, I want them from this edge to this edge, and I want them all equally spaced. I grab that, I click off that use space, and I do that one. And now it just figured it out across the page. You can do that with square, and then things don't have to be the same size. And I use this all the time. Like, let's do centered, and then it's gonna distribute the spacing quite odd. So you kind of need like a far one and a far one, because the way I have it referenced is it's gonna reference this and this one. But when I hit the distribute spacing, it'll go to that. But again, if I was like, no, I need them at 1/8 inch apart. And then 1/8 inch apart. Oh, I don't want them centered. I need them top down. Oh, I need to click and hold, and then let's do it. I want to mirror that. Oh, mirrored. That's all I did. Let's see, like two people. It's weird. So use that align and distribute as you need, but it is in Illustrator, it is in InDesign, and they work the same. Start to use them. I can't, honestly, I think I use it every day for something, even like weird stuff. I'm always using it. So go ahead, use that, abuse it, use it and abuse it. Free transform. There's a part of free transform that I don't think everybody realizes in InDesign, how indispensable it is when working with stuff. So one, I need to change the size of my image, right? And then we're all like, I'm on the select tool and I'm holding shift and I'm like, oh, dang it does that thing. Oh, I hate you, InDesign. Well, just do free transform and, hold down shift, and it works great. Easy peasy. We got that set, right? Like, oh, I want these books the same size. Make sure you're on free transform. I'm gonna hold down shift. Hold down shift to constrain your image size. It comes up, and I know, and I've mentioned it to people, and I check, especially in InDesign. If I do this, and then you're like, you have your image, I'm like, that doesn't look right. I will open your file, and then I will click on the image, and then I'll go up here, and then I'll take a screenshot for you and say, you're squishing your images. These percentages should be exactly the same. You don't want, I was trying to think of the analogy the best is, people are like, oh, but I squished it just a little bit. I'll misspell your name. Just a little bit, one letter. You don't care, right? It's only one letter. I'm going to misspell it. It's okay. Well, no, it's not okay. And it's not okay to distort images unless it is purposely distorted as part of the design process for the final design. But if you're just laying down imagery, no distorting. We don't need to distort logos. We don't need to distort, I need to fill this in. This is a great one. So I'm going to move these aside because it's all about free transform. Say I have this typeset like this, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. I'm happy where it is. And then as everybody does, they're like, and I want it in a yellow box. And then I come and I'm like, this is too tight in that yellow box. This looks ridiculous. You need, 3x height around it for spacing. oh man, okay. And then you go like this and you're like, oh man, oh, shoot, man, oh no. Here, you know what you do? Free transform. Click on the text, hold down shift. It keeps that text the way you typeset it, and allows you to reduce the size of it without going up and hitting that button that, like change the size of the text. Let's get this out of here. That's all I do a lot. And then here's the other one. So I'm like, oh, I got this. Get this, and then this. And like trying to get it in here, but it's not working. Like that black, I'm like, oh, I want it in the black. Zoom out. Oh, that's too much. There we go. But you can grab in InDesign. This is what I'm showing you in InDesign, because everybody stalls on it. I'm going to grab this, 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 and this. So I have there we go. Wasn't quite getting it. This is all grabbed. Now, if I were to scale it with this, what happens? It does this crap. Nope. But if I use free transform and I hold down shift, it scales it and keeps everything within its setup. Free transform, this guy. E, and then so I can go and I'm like, okay, the books look good, right? And I'm looking at my border. That's a beautiful amount of border. But the text, oh, I have room for that. So grab, free transform. Again, this is InDesign. This isn't Illustrator. He's doing Illustrator stuff in InDesign. There we go. Beautifully spaced. And I did it, and I wasn't futzing around, like just free transform, go right to it. Use that once you get things set up and you want to make small tweaks here and there. So like, but like the other one, like, well, this book is too small in there. Then I'll go to the direct select and then again, hold down shift and get that, a little bit better. So you have to know when to use select, when to use direct select, and when to use free transform. But again, free transform, lifesaver. Now I'm seeing this one happen. I'm in InDesign, and then I see people placing JPEG logos of the Summerfest logo or of the Bubbler logo in the InDesign. And I'm like, why is this a giant image? Like, why do I see that image bounding box? This is a vector-based program. I supplied you with vectors. Here's Bubbler, right? What? Copy. And I'm going to go to InDesign. Paste. There it is. In vector, with all the vector fun trimmings. And then you do the same stuff. Hold down shift and you can scale it just like Illustrator. It's saying I have different colors. I probably know why. But if I go to properties, if I go to fill and I want it the magenta, there we go. All right. Copy paste. I want one in cyan. There it is. Copy paste. I want one in yellow. This is InDesign, not Illustrator. It comes right in. When you have something in Illustrator, let's do the Summerfest logo, you just have to copy and paste it in. Nothing to it. Got this one, copy, go to InDesign, paste it. It's all there. Then when I scale it, same thing. Whoa. Oh, what the heck? Hold down shift, constrain it. There you go. So copy and paste vector from Illustrator. Don't place it. Don't place images. Use the vector. This gives you all the freedom because then you can unlock this. Like say I wanted to change it, or this is the other one I wanted to use. Near. Illustrator. I'm just gonna go on this. I'm gonna do something like, so say, you know, I was like, oh, I made some great graphics in Illustrator. You know, like, oh, it's white. Nobody's gonna see that. Properties, fill, red, and I'm like, and to lighter, and I'm like, this is needed for my design background in InDesign, you know, like, because I'm doing a piece on neurons and spaghetti, and so I get that where I want it, copy it, go to InDesign, paste it, you know, and I can make it again as big as I want, scale it, do whatever. So when you're working in InDesign, using that as your presentation template, make sure you're actually placing vector art into InDesign and not wasting your client's time and having fuzzy images where they're not needed. And then it's all vector, so you can deal with them in a vector style. You just unlock them. The bubbler, I don't want to go against my words, but like, you know, like, say you did something and it's multi-piece, object, ungroup, just like Illustrator. Oh, I need to modify this L. Well, just like Illustrator, you can start pulling guides. Like, it's the same. So use these in conjunction, but don't just think that in InDesign I can only place pictures. Always use vector when possible, because vector allows for the greatest amount of manipulation, unlike an image, which if it's too low res and then you make it big and it blows out, it just looks like crap. Vector. Whenever you can, use vector. Start using vector for everything. It's a vector world. All right. So those are that. If you have questions, comments, concerns about this, reach out to me. These all came from a student who had questions with, and I knew it was coming up because I look at your work, or if whoever is in the history class, and I was like, oh, people got to learn about this align and distribute. And I'll be checking your work tomorrow because it's all due tonight. So awesome. All right. Let's talk about design process. Cancel. Let's file save as. Let's do a save as just because I want these pieces. When this is, and I'm going to be a proper, and I got my folders. Let's save it at 142. I'm just going to call it Align for now. I don't know what it is. Save. I don't think I need InDesign again. I showed you this. Don't save. Okay, that didn't need an, oh. Did not like that for a minute. Nope, we don't need this anymore because I use that different example. Don't save. All right. I'm working away. Don't burst my, got it. Don't burst my summer bubble, right? Let me see if I can show you the disjointed ideas that came across to come up with my one design. Sorry, I'm not doing three. I'll do one and I'm stepping in. So for your project, besides creating the final design, phase 2 is your logo lockup, with 10 different versions of your chosen logo. And then we're going to start working on the poster and flyer. I will dig in a little bit more about the poster and flyer in point 2 of this lecture, which is on Thursday. But I'm going to talk about the logo lockup and the 10 different versions of your chosen logo. So I'm working away, and I turned in my logo to me, and I said, that looks good. And we went over this, and I was like working on this. And one thing I've had a couple students, again, the words "don't burst my summer bubble giveaway" are the #1 things we need to see in this logo lockup. That's what I want to read. I don't want them super tiny and then some big stuff around it. I need to see these words from across the room. So, I was working with those, and I did a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I was trying to think, like, I want, from the balloon, I went to bubble, and I was like, and I was talking about this bubble font, but it was too close to what I've done in the past. And then I was working on this bubbles, and I was like, oh man, I kind of hate the bubble thing. And I was going to do these bubble letters. But then in my head, I was like, I have this idea for this sphere, like a bubble. And I was like, how do I do this? And I'm looking on the internet, and that's not the first one. And then I actually went in a program, and I created this in a 3D program to try to get gridding for myself to be like, and then draw on top. And then so I made this, and it was like 2 pieces, and I just overlaid, and then I started drawing on top of it, right? Don't burst my summer bubble. And then, I kind of did it again, and I was thinking about that lettering. Now they see it now. I'm like not opposed it. And this is just like almost like placeholders. And I was trying to figure out, like, something wasn't jiving with me. And then, like, now I'm doing the gridding, and it just wasn't working for me. And I was like, what's wrong? And then so I go on the internet and I start digging around, and something like hit me. I was like, oh, a globe. And the problem I had was my segments for this design. The equator ones are right, but the longitude ones are wrong. Latitude and longitude. And I was like, oh, so I started digging around and finding these. I'm like, this is what I want. So I dug and I dug and I dug, and I like found like all these images of these spheres. And then I was working on this, and I was trying to get it better. And I was kind of stalling out, and I was like trying to do it somewhat in vector. And it wasn't really working. And like I made a small one, or I think a small one. And then I was transforming this and bringing, because I just needed the skeleton. And I did nothing on this one, nothing in this one. And I found a vector version that I could bring into Fresco, which I can work on when I'm thinking around doing other stuff. It's like portable. And so then I started working there. And so I transferred some of these in it. So this is where I said I found the vector one that I wanted, in which I could peel away the parts, and it was very clean. All right. This was another one. And I think it ended up being like I checked them, and I was like, oh, these are all the same. So, but I gave myself many. So like this is this, is this. All right. So I have a base. And then I started playing around. There's like a starting point. Then I drew in my letters. Don't burst my summer bubble. All right, starting good. Then I started like playing around, and the more I played with this, I'm like, I'm feeling beach ball vibes now. So my design went from like a bubble to a beach ball, into which I started working even more. And so I'll turn those off for now. so then I have this as a base. And then I did like this outline, right? That's my outline. And then I just started like, here's a version. Don't burst my summer bubble. And then this was like, I was starting and I rewrite these letters tons of times. There it is again, really sketchy. I'll zoom in. Really sketchy. There's a line because that adds to something else later. And then I was like, the beach ball theme. I'm gonna turn off this layer, turn on this layer, then zoom out. And I'm sort of at this. So I still have to add giveaway, and I still have to add the other logos, which I can do later. I want a file open. I need the file. I have one more. It's supposed to be, oh, is it untitled too? No. Because I had to transfer it from one computer, like one to another. So it transfers from my iPad, and sometimes it doesn't always go over. Don't burst 1A. Oh, but that doesn't have all the files in it. Because what I started doing, which isn't showing on the layers, which is fine, it's in a different program, is then I did another one where I made the letters super fat. So okay, so I'm down with this, and this is my starting point. And we talk about logo variations. So one of them, God, I wish I could show you. These are all on. I don't know where it is. Well, you have to trust me on that. I'll have to find why it didn't. Don't burst. Oh, this is 1A. Did it not save from my work last night? All right, whatever. I'll find it and I'll redo it anyway. So I did a thick version. So I had the font where it was thick. It was supposed to be in this file because it's here. I started working on that. Then I was like, bringing in letters, and I'm like, can I curve the letters the way I want? And I'm like, I don't think I can. I think I'm just gonna have to rely on me. So I kind of have this as a starter. And then I was like, okay, I need to add in the two other logos. So that I can just do by adding in more beach balls, right? So I simply would probably like copy and paste this. So you can do stuff like color variants, type variants, and readjustments. And I don't have to change everything about this. It's not like, oh, I have to do 10 different logos. No. Not 10 different logos. 10 variants on your design. You know why? Because in the end, you're going to end up with better designs overall. I'm just trying to turn off and lock the ones I don't want. So that's all vector. So I'm just going to copy and paste that. Oh, I wanted the white to come with it. So if I'm just going to make a bunch of these. First one is I can remove all the text. If I lock these, I can just remove the text and be like, and then unlock these, and then maybe like rotate this, but make sure you have all the parts and pieces when you rotate it. That's probably good enough. And then make it smaller. And I could put that like in the background or something like that. I'd grab it, and then like if I group it and I copy it, or cut it and put it way back here. You know, I can put it back there and then copy and paste another one and then maybe rotate that one a different way. You know, maybe it's upside down. And I still have to put giveaway in, but I might do giveaway on the side. But like, the artboard's distracting me. Oh, whatever. Then I can put like the Bubbler logo here and the Summerfest logo on this ball and this ball. And then, so I have that. And then I might do a version where we play with colors. Now, that's another big one. Don't make black your main color if you don't have to. This is a bright, crazy summer, some fun, you know, like design. Don't use black. Why use black? That's why I use blue. And then like, so if I have a thick version, which I'll try to find, and then like, what if I like, for these background colors, what if I like made that one the pink? Being a little bit weird. Properties, fill. Oh, I have to ungroup this. Group. Oh, you know what? Did it rasterize this? Oh, I know why. Okay. Because in the program I use the draw and fill the background, you can switch between vector and pixels, and it remembers. And I was rushing when I did these, and so these are actually raster, so it's pixels. So I can't change the color, but what I can do is just maybe do an image trace. But I'll redo that image trace and pick one that's 3 colors. Why didn't it get the pink? Stupid image trace. Let's try this. Let's try 6 colors. There you go. And then I expand it. Then I delete all the white away. And then that way now I can come in, put this back. Oh, the other thing too, when I was working on this, I like that doesn't work, like that poof. But I don't want to do then, I would have to then change this white to like a color, which is this is going to be raster. And then change the font to white. So should we do that? And then this is like, once it's all vector, it's just me switching around colors and like moving things. I know I want to try a thicker font. I'm always staying away from back. I'm going to do like color variations. I'm going to do placement variations of these beach balls with the bubbler. I'm going to maybe have giveaway down at the bottom. Maybe, you know, maybe giveaway will still be underneath bubble. And so those are like the 10 variations. Is you have your setup and you're like, what if I move this here? I'm not asking you to do 10 new designs. I'm asking you to do 10 variations on your theme. That can also be seen here of another one I did. So I did this. Now you know why I didn't do what I did. So I started here. Number 1, Here's number 2. What did I do in number 2? I made it somewhat look like a ticket in which you would tear off those pieces. Started playing with the colors now. Same logo, just different colors. Same logo, completely different color set, right? Completely. And I'm thinking like Summerfest here, then My Summer. Then I let's angle it and then add rounded edges. That's another one. Here, I moved the bubbler and the Summerfest. And then giveaways over there. Where was it before? Like 2 simple changes, you know? It's all the same elements. I'm just rearranging my elements. Really Plano? I don't know. I started giving up. Oh, maybe I stopped. But, I gave myself, a bunch. And then these don't take very long. These variations on a theme, you can just knock out. Boom, 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 boom. But why do I need to do this? You will inevitably end up with a better logo in the end when you experiment with the logo you created. So instead of just stopping, oh, it's done, I did it. And you're like, okay, now make something bigger, make something smaller, make it fatter, make it thinner. And you're just playing with the single elements within your best logo that you're moving forward with. And you give yourself 10 options. You will end up with one of those being like, oh, I wasn't expecting this, but it's much better than what I initially came up with. I think for this one, I ended up going with this 4th one, but now looking at it, or I may have gone with the ticket, but looking at it, I really do like this one now. I mean, it would need some work, but I went with this one. And so that's what I'm talking about. When you're like, oh my God, 10 no, it's variations on a theme. It's variations on your own theme. You have all the parts and pieces. Start moving them around, adjusting them, and getting them exactly where you want when you create this logo lockup. It is, I used to do logo lockups all the time for all different kinds of companies, Samsung, banks. It's too many for me to even remember. Constantly we were doing lockups that were, it was they had the company logo, and then they were having a special giveaway or something, similar to what we're doing. It was like a giveaway. Yeah, exactly what we're doing all the time. You see these offshoots of, a contest or something to attract, for a sale, all that kind of stuff. And that's what we're trying to get at here is you're developing that style. You're taking that logo, and you did the one, and the clients, you did 3 for the client, so the client can be like, that's the one to go with. And then you say, okay, cool. I'll be back to you, and I'm going to give you 10 variations of this logo, and then you can pick from there. We give variations, and that's why. And then the push you to do 3 originals is to get your mind thinking, creating. We never just do one. I mean, there might be some designers out there who are so high and mighty that when they write their proposals, they're like, you get 1 logo from me and only 1. And that's it. If you do not like that, you go somewhere else. No, we're here's 3 different varieties. Here's 3 logos. And for me, if I was presenting as you guys are, I would probably do the balloon. I would do another one of my super bubble letters, these round letters, and then I would do my new beach ball and skewing to the beach ball, but I needing to know that I need to move forward with this project to help you all. I went with the beach ball. And actually, it wasn't even going to be a beach ball in the beginning. The beach ball happened very late in the design iteration process. I think it was when I got here, it was one of those, and I was like, wait a minute. Oh, and then the other one is the accuracy I did with that. And it's not even accuracy. It's you get into that mode and you're it's so much fun that when I was doing it, I was like counting, and there's like a little, like there's a little drawing piece. I was making little tick marks, and I was like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I would make, okay, this is a second, until I got it split up using their, dimensions. So I had like perfectly equal spaces all the way around, and it's off, but I put the off section in the back so you don't even notice it. But yeah, I counted, and that took me for some stupid reason 5 minutes. I was like 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, and it would always be off, and I think it was 4 or something like that was the perfect match. So yeah, that's the process, and I've done that, and I do it, and I do it when I'm like not grading, when I'm watching TV and hanging out. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna work on this, and I just enjoy it. Like there's times I'm like super excited, like, oh, there's a ton of other things I got to do. I want to work on this logo, and I'm pretty happy where it came out. Though I'm not happy, I'm missing the work I did last night, where I made the beads bigger. But it's not gonna help. It was in the cloud. It should have saved. Oh well, I just have to redo it. And you know what redoing it means? I'll do it better. I think it was supposed to be on this one too. Maybe when I saved it for opening an Illustrator to show you all, I didn't have all the layers turned on. That may be it. So there's a weird thing from Fresco. You export to Illustrator, and it's like save all the files, and you're like, yeah, and then it renames it. I'm checking right now, and then I won't do this again to you all. Yes, my thick lines are there, and it was turned off. Oh, and then I did a script that was horrible. So I did do a fat letter. I found it. It just didn't export because I had that layer hidden, eyeball hidden, and I didn't realize when you do this quick export, I didn't have this thing clicked to do every layer. So you know what? I am actually going to fill up the 1 hour, and I'm going to go over hyphens and the other one, and then I can continue on with this process in the next video, and then I'll go over the brand and every designer needs to know, and get a couple more things ironed out with those, meaning making sure you're saving your 2 PDFs correctly, making sure that you're including all the correct information in those little designs, and you're having some fun with those designs. So let's go back to here, close this. All right. Watch that. Hyphens. Download. I was gonna do both right away. Hyphens, widows and orphans. Download, and we'll be done. And I think it'll be exactly 1 hour. Hyphens. All right, hyphens. These little things at the end. I'll use the hand. Right there. Wherever there's an arrow. Illustrator and InDesign have in the paragraph box a hyphenate box that you need to uncheck. It's that simple. Hyphens make it harder to read. We're not designing a novel where it's just words. We're not doing magazines, and we're not doing newspapers, into which they allow hyphens to save space. A newspaper, you have a restricted amount of space. A magazine, you have a restricted amount of space. And maybe like a novel, you have a restricted amount of space. So in order to use up all the space adequately, they allow hyphens. And it's like, we're going to hyphenate because we don't want to add any more text. So that's what we're going to do. But when we're doing items like posters and labels. I'm trying to think of like when you did the stuff for like InDesign, if you did Kate's and you did the packaging label, like just small paragraphs, there's absolutely no need for a hyphen to live there. And there's just not. And you just turn them off. Let's show you. Sorry. Right down here. What am I in? Adobe InDesign. Hyphenate. Make sure that's turned off. Or like we don't want to hyphenate. Now, why does that look like shit? Does it hyphenate? There. I didn't have it selected. Oh, I have to double hit it. There it goes. They're all away. It's because I wasn't selected on the fly. It took all the hyphens away. Make sure that that's not checked. Where? In the paragraph. You should be looking at the paragraph thing when you're designing anyway. Like if you're not looking at the paragraph thing, you're not designing, you're not typesetting, which is part of your design work. You need to be looking there, and there shouldn't be any hyphens. Same in Illustrator. File new. Great. I think it's already off on this one. Look, it's already off. Properties. Paragraph, I expand paragraph. Hyphenate's already off. If I turn on hyphenate or whatever, it's gonna look like crap, but it's off. So don't hyphenate. If you work for a publisher at some point and they mandate that you hyphenate, then you hyphenate. But in general speaking, no more hyphens. It's not, don't do it. Widows and orphans. There's sometimes double up on the widows and orphans. Which one means what? You find it mixed. People say widows or orphans. I say widow. Single word at the bottom of a paragraph, all by itself. Here, here. It just, again, it's one of those things that doesn't read right. Have 2 words. Close it out with 2 words. This is like an orphan, so that means that this last word is now up by itself all alone. These are just terms that mean alone. So don't have like 1 word by itself. That just looks dumb. It doesn't look good. Like bring some words down so you have at least 2 words, 2 or more words in that final line. And what does that mean you have to do? Sometimes that just means you have to play around and manipulate the text for yourself. I'm showing you. And I do it all the time. Oh, I have to go and do it by hand? Yeah, you have to do it by hand. Oh, look at that. Hey, Joel, you got a widow in your design. Oh, crap. Okay, I'll take care of it. I'm going to go to a line above, and I'm going to hit Shift and Return to do what's called a soft return. Now, sometimes it also readjusts some other crap, which I hate. But it moved it. Now they got human form down here. It pushed stuff. But I want to clean it up. And I have to find out if there's a way to like have it not do this. But like, I'm just looking for areas, and I hit Shift and Return. It's a soft return. Why does that affect what I do? Because then when I use this paragraph spacing here, it doesn't think it's a paragraph. See how I'm hitting that? It went from 0 and then blah, 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 blah. Nothing's moving. If I were to, hold on, I got to go back 100 times. I'm watching. Okay, so now if I was to do this with a normal, without holding down Shift, when you hold down Shift and Return, it's called a soft return. If I just hit Return, And I'm like, oh, cleaning it up and just hitting returns. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's looking great. And then I have another paragraph and I'm like, I'm gonna hit that paragraph spacing and I'm gonna have it beautifully spaced out the way Joel told me. And I go to paragraph. Here it is. And I like, it splits it up because it thinks those are paragraphs. If you use a soft return, it takes out that idea that it's a new paragraph and it knows that all you're doing is moving a word from one line to another. Soft returns. They're rad. So that's it. So I don't think there's anything else. 55 minutes, we're doing good. Again, questions, comments, or concerns, reach out to me. Come on in. Use these beautiful workstations. Anybody who has an inkling of drawing in their life, come on in. Let me know when you can. Maybe I can adjust my schedule to use these amazing tools. Yeah, where you're like, I just can't get what I need. I just can't get it how I want it. You don't have the right tools, and I do. And you can come in and use them for free. Keep going. I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody turns in tonight at midnight. Yeah, that's it. So thank you. And I will talk to you on Thursday. All right, take care. Bye-bye.